transactions that are going on. You know what I'm saying? And Don T was what the AI was taught to wipe out because they're going after anything that's like Trump or Don T, right? So we know they're hiding so much. So many, like there are no emails from anybody that's in the regime now. There's no direct emails to and from Epstein with them, right? Even though we know a lot of them knew Epstein. We're getting certain things that slip through in the body of the email. That's where we got like the Howard Lutnick stuff, for example. But they're clearly hiding so much involving them because we know about 30 people in the Trump regime are in the files. But they're hiding so much. All right. In 2013, someone said to Epstein in an email, quote,
yes,
"You offered to buy my baby 6 months into our relationship." What the fuck? What the fuck? So why is that person redacted? Why is that person redacted? From Jeffrey to redacted. You offered to buy my baby 6 months into our relationship in the midst of a longer message here. I'm at a loss. Quote, birth babies for black market use. Both names are redacted for this email, but it says birth babies for black market use. More depraved. Every time I learn more, it gets more and more depraved. Another thing people are speculating is if Jeffrey Epstein worked to rig the 2016 election for Trump using bots on social media, and there's some reason to believe based on some of the emails. So here, I'll read you this one. So there's this guy whose name is Zubair, and they say he is a cybersecurity genius, right? So back and forth they go here. Hi, Jeffrey. Looks like Trump is back in the game. We processed 11 million tweets this week for Trump, and 50.03% are positive, and only 20.66% are negative, whereas Clinton is 56% negative and 20% positive. We are trying to correlate that into popular vote outcome and electoral votes received. So it sounds like what he's describing is inauthentic bot activity to try to bolster Trump and hurt Hillary.
Live on YouTube.
He continues here. Hi, Jeffrey. We are in the process of removing data from bots and making a clean report, which I will share with you in a few hours. Overall, Trump is way more popular than Clinton. What is your heat map showing for Trump, Clinton? So they go back and forth on this, but a lot of people are speculating. Was he involved with this? Because in the same way, we covered the story, the guy who founded the politically incorrect subreddit where all these like right-wing conspiracy ideas were birthed out of.
What's up, Lotus?
Is this guy by the name of Moot. That guy Moot met with Jeffrey Epstein, and then immediately upon leaving the meeting, he set up the politically subreddit, which helped birth Gamergate,
February
helped birth
7th.
MAGA and the Groyper. So it appears like right-wing politics, modern right-wing politics, is literally an Epstein-Israel psyop that a bunch of idiots fell for. They took the culture war bait, and they fell for it, okay? So in the same way he was involved in that, was he also directly involved with botting social media for Trump's 2016 victory? All right, more. Latest Epstein files reveal that someone admitted to murder in an email sent to Epstein. So this is to Jeffrey Epstein's vacation Gmail account from redacted. I call him now my future husband, and we're talking about daughter. I thought I would never be able to kill somebody in my life. I was wrong. I might escape anyway. Miss you, Jeffrey. Big kiss, although now you probably won't like to kiss me anymore. And then there's some Russian stuff underneath it. So perhaps the nationality of this person is Russian. But there's the line, quote, I thought I would never be able to kill somebody in my life. This is on top of a bunch of emails that I already showed you invoking torture, a bunch of other ones invoking murder. Here's another one invoking murder. Just absolutely disturbing. Disturbing.
Are they just, they're like, yeah, we're just joking around.
Staley, CEO
just
of
jokes,
Barclays,
guys.
explaining to Epstein that he doesn't need to fear possible popular revolt against financial elites because capitalism and pop culture have pacified social movements and people now
see how long before I get banned on YouTube.
Prefer consumer goods over social justice. So this guy Mike on Twitter quote tweeted that and pointed out, it's genuinely wild seeing every single left-wing political theory being proven absolutely right over the space of a few days. That's so true. It is so. We were more right than we even realized, bro. When you have like, who was it? Was it Jamie Dimon? When you have Epstein, like,
bro, we're always right. Come on, don't get it twisted.
basically talking to governments around the world and getting foreknowledge of that. And also, he's the middleman. He's the guy that bankers go to then put pressure on politicians to give the bankers special treatment. We were even more right than we realized. There's a literal cabal of pedophile, billionaire, rapist, sadists, and somehow they have all the power, and they're the go-between for financial elites and governments, where they get the government to do the bidding of the financial elites. It is so
disgusting. And once you're in the club, you got to stay in, right, chat? It's like, yeah, okay. We all are in now. We all know the secret, right? That's right, chat.
So crazy.
That's how it works.
All right, more. This one is wild. This one is wild. David McKillips, the CEO of Chuck E. Cheese, resigned because his name is in the Epstein files.
The Chuck E. Cheese guy?
Super disturbing, and it sort of validates my theory that the ones you have to look out for...
Okay, wait. Now we know why the pizza thing. Come on. Come on. Now we know where they found the pizza. They were like, yep, it's all... Oh, shit. Oh, there we go. It finally updated my title. Jesus. What is happening?
The most are the guys who desperately want to be around kids.
This works out on me.
If you're a grown-ass man,
because
and you don't have kids of your own,
yes,
and you're like trying to get involved in a business that has kids at the heart of it,
there it is.
You are sketchy as fuck. And now we know the CEO of Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh yeah, you guys are
in the Epstein files.
A little delayed on YouTube.
A multi-millionaire British businessman who helped lead a global anti-trafficking charity.
Twitch, but I'll fix that.
Faces questions over his links to Jeffrey Epstein after email suggested that the convicted sex offender introduced him to several young women. This is from the Times, the Sunday Times.
Oh,
that is so crazy. So yet again, it's the ones you most expect, but others might least expect them. I'm leading an anti-trafficking charity. And this motherfucker is directly involved with that shit.
Oh my God, dude.
I expect those people, but a lot of other people might not. They might be genuinely shocked. But no,
I suspect
these are the ones who are most sketchy, most sus. How about this one? Lifetouch, the company taking school photos of children, is owned by Shutterfly. Okay, I'm sure you've heard of Shutterfly. Shutterfly was acquired by Apollo Global Management, co-founded by Leon Black, a billionaire previously mentioned in the Epstein files. And there's all sorts of allegations that he's like biting underage women and they're bleeding, underage girls, and they're bleeding. The photos are uploaded to databases run by a company whose owner was also involved with Epstein and sued for rape of a 16-year-old girl. So again, here you have the company that's directly involved in taking school photos of children.
What is happening?
The people at the top of that company are involved with fucking Jeffrey Epstein.
Every single one of them.
There's nothing sacred to these people, bro.
Every single one of them needs to be every single one needs to be tried in court that we have now and appropriately put into the appropriate places according to their whatever that sticks. Okay, there is plenty of evidence. Stop saying there's not enough evidence. And I don't care if it's a right-wing person. I don't care if it's a MAGA person, a fascist, or the most leftist AOC lover. I don't care if it's Zoran Mamdani. If Zoran Mamdani's in the Epstein files, he's out too. All right. This kind of shit is the sickest shit you can actually be involved in my opinion. And so I agree. Out. Get them all out. I want to see trials. I want to see them lined up. I want to see their name. I want to see them shamed. I want to see them looking down. Like the life scum they are. They use their absolute power positions to take advantage of young girls. And it continues to this day. And we need to see fucking examples. And if it doesn't happen now, it's never going to stop.
They're actually the devil. So there are your Epstein updates, and I did want to leave you with one more piece of horrible news that you have to look out for. But last night we learned that there was a memo sent out to everybody who works at the U.S. Embassy in Iran. U.S. Virtual Embassy Iran issues a security alert telling U.S. citizens, leave Iran now. Leave Iran now, have a plan for departing Iran that does not rely on U.S. government help. Flight cancellations and disruptions are possible with little warning. Check directly with your airlines for updates. So it goes on here. Keep your phone charged, yada, yada. But U.S. Virtual Embassy in Iran issues a security alert telling U.S. citizens leave Iran now. I don't really care
about the branding.
Not good. Because, I've been fearing this, There's so much going on that makes Trump look horrible. And we know the way he thinks because he accused Obama of this. Every time Obama dipped in his approval rating, Trump would post like, he's going to attack Iran now, watch. He's going to attack Iran. I guarantee you he's going to attack Iran now, watch.
He sounded a little bit more like the Grinch or something. I don't know.
And no, that's not
Come
what
on,
Obama
Kyle.
did. That's how Trump thinks.
Got to practice Trump a little more.
My poll are going down. All right, let me do a war. Epstein files come out. Let me distract that. Let me do a war. And he thinks there'll be a rally around the flag effect and people will support him more if he does it. So I'm worried of an attack against Iran at any moment.
Yeah.
And the Israelis are putting a colossal amount of pressure on him to do it. So not good.
Oh, they for sure
Not good. Genuinely something to worry about. As of right now, they haven't attacked, but there's some signs already that
genuinely true.
We're on the brink. So round 2 against Iran might be happening. I hope it's not the case. I hope I'm dead wrong.
Don't say that,
but,
Kyle.
I wouldn't bet on that. All right, guys, that's what I got for you right now. Everybody have a great rest of your day.
Don't be that kind of Kyle.
Go sign up for Crystal Kyle and Friends. You're going to want to see the episode that drops tonight. We'll have some teaser clips up there for you. But
all right, Chad, that's all we got from Kyle tonight. What else do I have? Holy crap. All right, here we go. A little bit of infighting. We'd love to see it. We're going to check in with a little bit of the...
Ask of the hosts. Can you please not... Okay, no problem. No problem.
This is
okay?
By the way... These guys are the Gen Z, TMZ of the left. That's what I would call them. If you have never seen them before, chatters. Nice. Oh, whoa. Okay, we're back. Twitch always comes back. Thanks. All right. Anyway, they're funny.
The one simple ask, though, I asked of the hosts, can you please not,
Okay, Jake, hold on.
No.
Hold on.
Okay.
I'm not banned yet.
All that. Look,
what happened?
We're operating as if we live in a just society where our democratic process matters. It doesn't matter.
The Vanguard will be there.
Oh.
So let's listen to the first part of this TYT discussion.
Is Anna going to come back around to our side chat? What is happening? Is our girl Anna finally from TYT going to be on our team again and be pro-trans? Is she going to change her mind? Let's see.
Just to set the table.
Is she coming
we're
back?
Fast forward a little bit midway through the conversation.
Is she going to take Uncle Jake
really
to the bank?
Awkward,
Let's find out.
Awkward. And I'm genuinely interested in your opinion on Anna's take in this episode. But yeah, let's take a look. And this is also kind of relevant, because they're talking about Andrew Schultz kind of apologizing and admitting that he.
Yeah, and here comes another guy, Andrew Schultz. If you don't know who that is on the left, he's a famous comedian. And of course, Charlemagne the God on the right or left there. Anyway, they have this podcast, right? As you can see, and Andrew Schultz has always been like the right wing. He even shaved his head to look like a Nazi,
was wrong.
Even he's like, I don't know.
Wrong about Trump in a sense. Kind of similar to what
I
Anna
don't
just
like Trump.
also did.
I don't like Trump.
Although she did it in a much more
I don't like old Trump.
hasty way. It's not like she devoted a whole episode to it or really even apologized at all. She was just kind of like in an offhand, off the cuff remark like, oh yeah, I was kind of wrong about Trump and I feel bad about that. Let's move on. But anyway, she's in a sort of similar place herself where she's just quote unquote admitted that she was wrong. So with that in mind, let's take a look.
I know I had Trump on the podcast,
Yeah, she's been testing the waters to check back in with the hard left that she used to rail against because we were against, we wanted to abolish the police or we were against just reform. I don't even know what she was pissed off about.
And I'm
explaining that.
No, but let me just clarify because I think it is important to say. I know
stop
I
explaining
had him on the
that.
podcast.
No.
When I'm talking out about this, I'm not doing it to get people to be like, oh, he's a good guy or whatever like that, or try to get anybody on my side. I understand that this is a horrific event that happened. I objectively want to talk about it. I'm not trying to win anybody over in this.
You understand? You know the difference between right and wrong.
There's a difference between right and wrong, and there's a difference between respecting and honoring the Constitution, the backbone of our country, and then completely shredding it. And this is completely shredding it.
This is where he draws a line. I mean, everyone has their fucking line, but what the hell?
I think it's an important thing to speak out against. I just think it's horrific.
Comedian Republican podcaster Andrew Schulz is admitting that he's having some buyer's remorse when it comes to Donald Trump. Now, during a conversation about the Alex Preddy shooting, and he was shot and killed by 2 Border Patrol agents in Minneapolis, and the abuses of federal immigration agents, Schulz went on to basically accuse the Trump administration of shredding the Constitution. Cenk, your 2 cents.
Well, I want people to pay attention to what he's saying here as to why he's now done with the Trump administration. And I want you to have hope that there are a lot of people out there with open minds who might have voted for Trump in the past, but are now realizing what's happened. And that's a beautiful thing. So let's do this story so you get all the facts.
So this was during the latest episode of Brilliant Idiots, which is a great way of describing most of US media, but nonetheless, Brilliant Idiots podcast with Charlemagne the God, as you saw in the video.
No, it's actually a good way to describe both of those guys, because Charlemagne's kind of a lefty, but he still treads the waters in the middle, and so does Schultz. I mean, Schultz has always kind of been more extreme, so they're a good pair, but like that is a good title for sure.
Co-hosts discuss the fatal shooting of Alex Preddy and the Trump administration's grotesque premature response to it. Now, immediately after the shooting, Kristi Noem, for instance, DHS secretary, dubbed him a domestic terrorist. Stephen Miller claimed that Preddy was there to.
And yes, chat, we are watching a YouTube video of 2 people watching a YouTube video, right? And then if you were to watch my YouTube video, you would be watching someone watching a YouTube video who's watching a YouTube video. This is how crazy the React quote-unquote meta gets that I'm in right here. So, just so you know.
To massacre law enforcement. Now, Andrew Schulz called out officials in the federal government for immediately jumping to conclusions about Preddy and disregarding Preddy's constitutional rights. Take a look.
Yeah. I mean, how do you even call yourself a right-wing person if you don't call this out? I mean, come on.
And then we saw all of this, so let's
no right-wing bona fides at all.
And then again, we're going to fast
forward nothing. You got nothing.
Let's hear what Anna has to say.
All of us as Americans.
So,
what'd you do, bro?
I mean, look, I appreciate the fact that he's willing to say this, knowing that he's going to get backlash from honestly all sides. The reception to his commentary there from the left has been that of scolding, jeering. How dare you? You had him on your podcast. You helped him. I think that's a mistake because I think one of the things the right did correctly in the lead up to the 2024 presidential election is that if anyone had any reservations about voting for Biden and then when he dropped out Kamala, the right would try to bring people in, right?
Yeah. And again, obviously that's true when it comes to voters. I 100% agree when it comes to voters. I think that, if someone voted for Trump and now they're curious about voting for a Democrat or voting against the Republicans, of course we should welcome them into the fold.
Or they're pissed off because they didn't think that they take it this far. They thought Trump was just yapping on his ass saying, oh yeah, I'm going to deport 200 million illegal aliens, quote unquote. Yeah, then they go, oh, I really didn't vote for that. And Trump keeps saying I did. Those people, we can have a conversation. I have some of those people in my chat sometimes on Twitch. So,
When it comes to high profile media figures with a massive platform, I do think it's important to hold them to account. Like, is that crazy to suggest that there's some level of accountability enforced for your fellow members of the media ecosystem, Anna? I just think that's wild, and obviously there's a little bit of projection going on because she doesn't want to face that same accountability.
The accountability comes
from
from
to be accepted and welcomed back into the fold of like normal people that didn't do propaganda for Donald Trump. But it's like, who needs who more? Do you need us more or do we need you more? Because we're doing just fine. It seems like for the sake of your career, you need us. And the same goes with a guy like Andrew Schulz. She's like, he's getting so much backlash from MAGA. It's like, I'm sure he's getting a little bit of backlash, but he also knows that if he wants to stay relevant and if he wants to stay popular, he kind of has to do what he's doing right now. It's not about morality. It's about staying relevant, as PBD put it. I think PBD's analysis is actually on point there, where he's like, yeah, Andrew Schultz is trying to stay relevant. He wants to maintain some level of popularity. He doesn't want to be thought of as a fascist propagandist because that's bad.
Neither does Anna, and neither does, and Joe Rogan has even started to say the same kinds of things. Oh, I don't really like what ICE is doing. I didn't really think that they were going to do all that. You know, like, meantime, there's me and a bunch of other people on the left just yapping about how this is what's going to happen. And of course, here it is happening every day.
Bad for his popularity. It's bad for his attention. You can look at his view count and see how it declined after Trump became president. So again, obviously, yeah, welcome people back into the fold, but also I think it's ridiculous to suggest that no accountability should be dished out or dealt out for people who got us into the situation, for people who did propaganda for Trump, for people who administered softball interviews of this fascist dictator. Yeah, I think we should remember that.
I completely agree. And I think you're so right to point out that the reason that Anna Kasparian wants everybody to be even softer on Andrew Schultz is because she wants everybody to be soft on her. Oh, there was no way to know this was going to happen. Oh, no, you were so right. You just hated black people so much. You were blinded. Yeah, it's crazy to come out here and be like, you have to be so nice to him. I actually think the left has been remarkably kind and charitable to Andrew Schultz. I've seen a bunch of viral tweets that
I would agree,
sometimes
actually.
This guy makes me want to gag, but we have to do the responsible thing and embrace this kind.
Andrew Schultz does, as I have to give him respect, he is able to talk to leftists in a way that is not demeaning. Okay, I do agree. That's why he has
with open arms. We have
Andrew Schultz has Riz. Okay, he does have the Riz. We admit it when the guys have the Riz. Okay.
Be able to say, you know what, you are correct, and it was.
We don't deny the Riz around here, folks.
But you are not irredeemable. That has been the line everyone has said. When did, in the first fucking hour and 8 minutes of this podcast, did Gavin and I come out here and say, stop watching Andrew Schultz? We never said that. I talked about how I'd been watching him for 15 fucking years. It's crazy to look at the fucking 2026 on the calendar and be like, yeah, that was 15 years ago when I was in 7th grade and I was watching Guy Code on my couch. Okay, so I'm familiar with this guy. I know a lot more about him than apparently PBD did, who lied about his resume and said he came from Fox News, which absolutely is untrue, right? He flirted with the right because Rogan did, and he carved out a hole for himself in Rogan's asshole, all right? And that's what he did, and he's realizing he's gotten shit out, and he's all covered in blood. He's trying to take a shower and rinse it off, okay? And while he's doing that, his buddy Charlemagne, this is such a producer thing to say, is like, shut the fuck up and stop apologizing.
Yes.
Moving forward, you're a guy that criticizes Donald Trump and never takes accountability for your actions, because that's what a producer would tell you to do. Andrew Schultz is out here. He probably does genuinely feel bad. He wants to talk about it because he wants to scrub all of that off.
I think
because Andrew Schultz has empathy. He is someone that is on the right that has empathy. I would agree.
Does want those clips going viral.
Some kind, a little bit of
contrary to whatever Charlemagne thinks, or like I
rather than none, like Trump.
Those clips to go viral, so everyone is, I can't believe he's come back to sanity and what a reasonable guy and all that kind of shit. He does get points for this. Most people do reward the transition
for sure. I think that he is going to be able to land the plane. I think he'll be popular again. That's why I think it's so absurd to fucking cancel the guy. Like, yeah, he did swing for the wrong fucking fence, and he hit, and he was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna help out this guy become president, and then that guy becomes president and fucks everyone and makes a terrible decision. Guess what? People will get over it, because the people who watch Andrew Schultz do not watch him primarily for his political analysis. And I think that's another very important distinction between a guy like Andrew Schultz, who is a comedian, who hosted a show called Guy Code, who is known for just shit talking. He wants to talk about anything. He is going to try and be a comedian. He has a comedy podcast. Him and his boys are trying to make you laugh. Anna gets up here and says, buy into me because of my political analysis. Totally different ball game when you shit the bed on that front.
True.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes.
And again, I think that Celeste just said we need to forgive them. I think that's true. I can understand forgiving them, but we should not forget. We can forgive. We should not forget, and they should not be trusted again with a political platform or when it comes to their political analysis. That's my main stance. It's like, I don't think Andrew Schultz should be canceled forever and unemployed and destitute. No. But do I think he should be trusted again as far as his political analysis goes? Fuck no. He proved that he was not credible. And again, this is a grown-ass man we're talking about. How old do you say? He's like 43
41, yeah.
Yeah. And he fucking got it. He helped get us into this situation, helped, install this dictator wannabe piece of shit.
It's actually crazy.
Yeah. So don't trust him again. Obviously, he's going to continue having a career, but keep that in mind. Don't forget. Same with Anna Kasparian. So let's hear a little bit more of this, and then we're going to fast forward to the awkward part.
If you aired your grievances about the Biden administration or how Kamala was treating, let's say, the Palestinian protesters, you would attract the ire of other Democratic voters. I think that's a mistake. You're pushing people away. You're helping the right win. So my view of this is, I agree with Schultz on this. He has reached the right conclusion on this.
Oh, that's hard.
Yeah. So with that in mind, give him space to admit he was wrong.
And it's definitely not talking about herself right now. This is definitely
definitely about
Schultz. From her personal experiences as of late. But
joking.
Either way, that's about what you would expect from this clip. Where it gets really weird is later on. Cenk's going on a spiel, and we're going to let him go on his spiel for a little bit. But you're going to hear Anna kind of awkwardly interrupt him. And I can't wait to hear your thoughts on this because it's all just very bizarre.
In an authoritarian way as possible, and money. And of course we were right. Why? Because we've been paying attention the whole time.
The delay's better
and
now.
Trump is not complicated. So they, in my opinion, they made a mistake. And I would say, and maybe a lot of people on the left disagree with me, but understandable mistake, not because of Trump, but because of who we offered up, okay? And so now the left is in two camps. So one camp is, you had it coming. You guys are idiots and we hate you and we don't accept your apology, or it's a good thing, or grovel more, right? And so
what?
As you all know, I'm not in that camp. I'm in the camp of, Andrew, great to see you, brother. Come on in. Let's tell you about the populist left. Let's tell you about Ro Khanna. Let's tell you about Rebellion PAC with all these candidates who are actually for the average American. And why are they on the left? Because it turns out historically, the left has had all of these wonderful policies like paid family leave and lower drug prices and higher wages. All the great policies are actually, in my opinion, not all, but the great majority of them are on the left, or what we call the left these days. And then they go, that's amazing. Maybe we could go in that direction if you gave us a real choice, like Ro Khanna or someone like that.
Ro Khanna.
Amazing. That's exactly what we want.
Sure.
So, but at the same time, Anna, I'm no longer angry at the other side of the left that goes, no, hate them, make them grovel, don't accept it, etc. The reason I'm done with that anger is because, look, I get it, guys. You have your own, background, and you had your own media, and your media told you that Biden was a demigod and that he was FDR 2.0. So I don't blame you for believing that. I get it. Just like I'm not blaming some of the Trump voters for not understanding that Trump wasn't a demigod, right?
Can I be honest about something?
We both got took. So I'm trying to give the same grace to those guys as I'm giving to Trump voters. So I hear you. Get it out of your system. And if you want to hate me or Andrew Schultz, okay, no problem, okay? By the way, the one simple ask though, I asked of the hosts, can you please not like...
Okay, Cenk, hold on. Hold on.
Okay.
Who cares about all that? Look,
who cares about all that,
really
she
quick,
says.
What? This, though. Let's just wait, let the moment play out real quick.
Okay, Cenk, hold on. Hold on.
Okay.
Who cares about all that? Look, we're operating as if like we live...
Okay, no, go ahead.
I just think he was not happy about that.
No,
he was not happy about that. When she just told him, imagine, I would be pissed if Gavin did it to me. Gavin would be pissed if I did it to him. You can't you're even though it wasn't very thoughtful analysis from Cenk, he was kind of just rambling and giving word salad. To just be the host, you're on camera together and be like, nobody cares about anything you just said. Let me interrupt you and change the subject, bro. You would see a vein popping. I'd be like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? On camera. Afterwards, you could be like, that was a stupid segment. I'd be like, fine, I'm sorry you didn't fucking like it. On air, I'm like, what?
Yeah, no, it's one thing just to interrupt your co-host. It's already a little bit annoying, and we've done it to each other a million times. It's another thing to interrupt your co-host and say, no one cares. Shut up.
Yeah.
Let me talk, because literally no one cares what you're saying. Like, that's so rude. That's so mean. And yeah, just study Jake's face. And then we're going to get into what Anna actually has to say, which I'm kind of conflicted on, because before we hear it, just to preface this, it's not that she's totally wrong, but it's also giving major like Jimmy Dore energy. So I'm really interested to hear your opinion on this, because at least Cenk is trying to be like constructive in a sense. You know, he's being forgiving. He's talking about how like, you know what, I understand if you had this reaction, even if it wasn't mine. And then Anna just takes it in this weird like Jimmy Dore direction.
Okay, no problem, no problem. Okay. By the way, the one simple ask though, I asked of the hosts, can you please not like?
Okay, Cenk, hold on. Hold on.
Okay.
Who cares about all that? Look, we're operating as if like we live in a just society where our democratic process matters. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, look at where we are today. Like, look at where we are today, where you have both sides of the political aisle providing cover for a serial pedophile who's working for Mossad and potentially other foreign intelligence agencies. We don't live in a democracy. So like, look, I just want people to understand our issues are far deeper than any of us realized. Okay, like there is no conversation to be had about
any of us
right now or legislation right now.
Any of us? Any of us realized? I wouldn't say any of us.
Our government is rotten to the core, regardless of who's in charge. And we gotta.
Wow, thanks for that. Again, Jimmy Doreism. It's like, you're not wrong. Like, yeah, the Democrats also supported
it's
Epstein.
Jimmy Doreism.
I get the point you're making, but doesn't this kind of just sound like some Jimmy Dore, like black-pilled both sidesism? Like, who cares who's in charge? Why are we even having any conversation? Why even do the show? Because, you know, Israel just controls America and the country's rotten to its core, bro.
Yeah, that sounds great.
It is exactly black-pilled type shit. That was the word I was about to use. She swallowed the black pill.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. And she's like, why are we even talking about policy? Like, none of this even matters. It's like, well, what are you supposed to do? You have to go to work. Like, your job is to be a political commentator. So is Cenk's. What's he supposed to do? Just come out here and be like, the government is fucking corrupt instead of do your job. Like, no, you literally have to have a conversation about policy. Sorry, you feel like you don't feel like it's helpful or whatever. I don't really know. Pretty weird energy, but let's hear this out.
To be had about policy right now or legislation right now. Our government is rotten to the core, regardless of who's in charge. And we got to change that. You're not going to be able to change that by continuing the fake partisan politics that's only framed in the way it's framed to divide us. Like, you get what I'm saying?
Of course I do.
We don't live in the world that we lived in, or we thought we lived in 2016 when Trump had just gotten elected. We don't live in that world.
But Anna, that goes to the point that I was making, because those independent podcasters are critical, because you already have people on the hosts on the right and the left. That
it's like, finally I get back to my spiel, back to my endless word salad spiel.
That's how you really twist the knife too. You're like, you said nobody cared what I was saying. That point you just made, I was making. It's like, no, you weren't, dude. You were not making that point.
Oh God, yeah. So it is funny that, again, I mean, at least Cenk was trying to be constructive there with like his point, even though it was word salad. Yeah. And then Anna just comes in, totally fucks it up by being like, none of this even matters because of Epstein and the government is so corrupt. And you're just like, well, you're not really wrong about that, but also like, where does that leave us? Okay. Like, so what do you want to do about it? Just sit here and whine and act shocked about something we've basically all known about for years now, that like Epstein existed and was not only an ally of Trump, but also the Democrats. Yeah, we know. Like, we've known that for like 10 years now.
It's crazy. Do they keep going?
True. Oh yeah, do you want to watch the rest?
Yeah.
Nothing is as awkward as what we saw, but they do keep going.
And are never going to move, and they're going to tell you the answer is the new corporate Republican or the new corporate Democrat, and don't worry about it, that they are both support Israel and the powerful and Wall Street and the donor class.
No problem.
That's not important as long as you pick the corporate Democrat. No, it's not going to make a difference. Corporate Republican or Trump was an establishment elitist.
Sorry.
And it goes to the point I was making, which is that a lot of the hosts told people that we voted for Trump or supported Trump, and half of the left looks like they think that that we did that when that's not even remotely true.
Okay. You did after he got elected retroactively support all of the things that he ran on. That 100% happened. You literally did turn around and do revisionist history and said you never called him a fascist and you never called him a Nazi and that you were not one of the Democrats that didn't think anything could be done with Donald Trump, and then you volunteered your services to Elon Musk and you kept making excuses for them and you said, hey, you know what, let me team up with Marjorie Taylor Greene. So yeah, that all happened. We didn't forget that.
This is true. That all did 100%.
Happen. And yeah, it is correct that they never actually technically supported Trump or said they were going to vote for him. But they were hella pandering to MAGA. We all know that. Cenk said that Trump winning equaled the establishment being defeated. Anna denied that Trump was going to do Project 2025 and tried to mock people that were suggesting that. No. I mean, the list goes on and on. We can sit here all fucking day. It's crazy. They did both sidesism over and over again.
Because when you're a partisan, you don't care about what's right or wrong. You care about my team winning. But what Anna's trying to tell you is your team isn't your team. When they take the donor money, whether it's from Israel or the Big Pharma, they're not on your team. They're on Big Pharma's team. So if our side or any side makes the mistake of picking someone like Cory Booker, because they're like, oh, what a nice corporate Democrat.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Oh my God.
There's an entire entity within our government. It's called the deep state. They're not elected officials. We can elect whoever the hell we want. It's not going to make a difference.
No.
We have to do something to get the rot out. Otherwise, none of this matters. Okay, Andrew, like the reason why I'm not like up in arms about, oh, Andrew Schultz helped Trump in the lead up to the election and now he's changed his mind. The reason why I'm not riled up about that, as others are, is because our issues are much deeper than what comedian podcasters have to say about very.
This is such projection. She's like, the reason why it doesn't really matter the role that I played in reelecting Trump is because I think our issues are much deeper. And I mean, whatever I did, it's not as bad as like what Epstein was up to. So I guess I'm off the hook, and so is Andrew Schultz. Don't look at me. Don't blame me.
Yeah.
What is the point of watching your show then? What is the point of watching your show then, Anna? Like that's my natural follow-up when people go off of the deep end. What is the point of watching if nothing matters, right? Bill Murray, it just doesn't matter. Even if we played so well above our heads and our noses bled, it just wouldn't matter. Anyway, people in chat who are old will know. The fucking whole deal is that, okay, well then I guess I'll stop paying attention to politics then if nothing matters. That's what the black pill does to people. They just tune out, they stop caring.
Black pill yourself.
They don't register to vote. They don't pay attention to what's happening around them. They quit reading the news, all that kind of shit. That's what happens when people take the black pill and there's no home for the Young Turks in their media diet after that.
Yep, 100%. And it's also like, bro, the deep state didn't like just start existing like in 2016. Like, what do you think? America was some like perfect bastion of fucking justice and equality or something like before the Trump administration? Fuck no, dude. You can look at all throughout American history, insane corruption, insane inequality. I mean, this is nothing new, honestly. I mean, Trump takes it to a new level in some ways, but
he's
don't act like, oh, the deep state just showed up on the scene yesterday. Like the deep state has existed.
The deep
for a
state's
while.
here now. No one realized how bad it was.
Should people
like,
in
no,
1972
you realize.
have been like, none of this matters. The deep state killed the president. Both sides are like, come on. It's just stupid.
If they can get to Fred Hampton, what good is the Montgomery bus boycott, right? Nobody talks like that because you have to keep moving the ball forward, right? We talked about this at the beginning of the live stream. Is the solution to the fact that Donald Trump is going to send his fucking ICE Gestapo goons to the polls in November a reason to stay home? Is it a reason to say, oh, I guess I shouldn't register to vote if Donald Trump's going to rig it anyway? No, absolutely
yes, you should.
not. People in chat were already chanting it. Too big to rig. Too big to rig. Show up in so mass numbers that it's impossible to be denied. Go with a group. If you are aware of somebody who is nervous about polling or showing up to vote, make sure that you drive them there. Go up with 3-4 people. It should be exciting to vote. And if you've never voted before, I'll tell you what, once you actually walk through the doors, it might be scary because there's like legal distances where people can't act like fools. But once you get past those people, if they happen to be near your polling location, everybody inside is super nice. They're all really happy to see you. You need to be telling people that, hey, it's really important, it's really fun, it's really easy, and don't let these assholes intimidate you. It is so irresponsible and reckless in 2026 to come out here and blackpill your audience. If you have 1 ounce of goddamn shame for the way you fawningly covered Donald Trump, you should be motivating people to resist like they never have before. You should be reminding people that even change on the margin is vastly important when you're dealing with battling fascism, right? Oh, you can only make 2-3% of a difference voting for the Democrats. Good. Make that 2 or 3% difference and keep the fucking Constitution. That should be your line of messaging.
Yeah, 100%. Do you want to watch the rest of this?
We can, or we can move on. Totally up to you.
I think you basically got the point, to be honest. That was the most awkward stuff in there. But yeah, just really funny to see Anna go like full Jimmy Dore again, be like, oh, like Democrats, Republicans, who cares? None of this even matters. It's all fucked. It's like, okay, then maybe you should go get a different job. Because you're not really helping things by just.
I mean, she's not wrong, but yeah, but that's not the.
Like, who cares what Andrew Schultz says because of Epstein? Who cares what I said because of Epstein or something? Like, I guess I'm off the hook because I'm not as bad as the pedophile cabal.
Look out the door if you hear an ambulance. The Vanguard will be there, sir.
What the hell is that?
Vanguard will be there, sir.
Dun, 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 dun. Ooh. Oh, what? They voted for him? Come on, guys. How dare you?
The Vanguard will be there.
All right, that's it for me tonight. I gotta go chat. I realized it was that late. I'm beat.
No one is legal on stolen land.
Exactly.
That's so brave.
Okay. I gotta go, guys. Bye-bye. I tried out the YouTube. We'll see if they get banned or what happens. Hopefully I won't. Because it'll be great if I don't. Last time it did get banned. But I'm just doing what Hassan's doing, so he's not getting banned. We'll see. You know, he's probably got special privileges, though. Right? Right? Because he's got like 3 million followers. Right?